Meet me near the ruins of Falbutton Castle. After dark. Do not tell anyone.
My mother was shocked the first time I stepped in.
And your reading is the dragon. That's exciting, I suppose. Perhaps you're due for an adventure.
Ladies,
Professor Shah.
astronomy is not divination. You won't find the mysteries of the cosmos charted out on your palms or at the bottom of your teacups. Alas, the heavens remain hazy to the starry-eyed. Now, if you were to devote yourselves to persistent and painstaking observation, you just might catch a glimpse. With that in mind, please take your telescopes. Tonight we will be on the observation deck. Still don't have your own? You can't be the new student forever, you know. You can share with Mr. Takar.
Here, I can adjust that for you.
No, bring it into focus on your own. Now, I expect all of you to put in your stargazing hours outside of class. Is that clear?
But, Professor, it's freezing out.
Mere cold didn't stop the great stargazers of the past. Look only to the astronomy tables they erected throughout the Highlands from which they gazed millennia ago on the very self-same stars above us. Is that clear? Dismissed.
Oh, hello. I'm Amit. We met in potions class. I'm happy to report that we've yet to have any explosions in this class.
Oh, hello, Amit. Nice to see you again.
Did I hear Professor Shaw say that you don't have your own telescope? I have a spare one you could borrow for the rest of term.
That's very kind of you, Amit. Are you sure you won't need it?
I'm certain. It's my old one. I finally got my hands on the new Celestia Contemplar. You've heard of it, I assume? I mean, of course you have. It's only the pinnacle of all personal stargazing implements. But my old model's not too shabby either. Goblin-cut glass, first-rate optical enchantments. Hate to think such a fine instrument is just collecting dust.
Well, thank you, Amit.
Think nothing of it. Anyway, the telescope's in the storage room right underneath us. You can't miss it. I have some, reading to finish on the lower deck. Come find me there afterwards, and bring the telescope. There's something I want to talk to you about.
Tried to put off my stargazing as long as I could. A lot of good that did. How am I supposed to find Sirius when my hands are too cold to use a telescope? It's a dog, isn't it?
This was his old telescope. Looks practically brand new.
A pristine night for stargazing. Do not let it be wasted.
Professor Shah, I'm interested in learning more about astronomy.
It is increasingly rare to find a student who seeks after things celestial, of their own accord. But if you truly desire to chart the courses of the cosmos, you must rid your mind of the terrestrial babble of others. We ourselves are not unlike blank star charts, you know? Empty canvases waiting to be inscribed with all that the universe has to offer. Do you understand?
Am I right in thinking you are unimpressed by divination?
Of the many other so-called disciplines taught here, divination is perhaps the most feeble, especially in its nonsensical practice of astrology. Do not confuse astronomy and astrology. One is concerned with mysteries stellar and lunar, the other is mere lunacy.
You mentioned astronomy tables earlier, in class. What were you talking about?
Long ago, devotees of the astral arts set up stone slabs across the countryside. They are ideal for studying constellations near and far. For centuries, wizards made use of these astronomy tables for stargazing. Sadly, they have since become mere monuments to the intrepid intellectual pursuits of a bygone epoch.
Thank you, Professor. I look forward to stargazing.
I am glad to hear it. Should be a stellar night for it.
The perfect night for... Oh, hello again.
I have the telescope. It's nicer than I'd expected.
I would not offer a prospective stargazer a third-rate lunoscope. But there is, something else.
Yes, what is it?
You remember those astronomy tables Shaw was going on about? It just so happens I've been reading up on them a little myself. And it seems there may be one right here at Hogwarts. I believe we could use it to find hidden constellations.
And you need someone to help find it.
I do. Are you in? No one from the Gobstones Club will go with me. Said they'd rather get spit at by a stone than... Well, they are cowards. Let us get moving while the stars are still out. I'll show you how to use that telescope once we get there. I promise.
No need to convince me. Let's get going.
Brilliant. You won't regret it. Shall we? The table is on a castle wall ahead. Look for a stone platform, something that doesn't quite belong. We'll know it when we see it. Onwards we go then. Some say the locations of the tables were originally marked by centaurs for ritual stargazing. It is nice having a fellow stargazer to explore with.
Happy to be here. It is good to leave the classroom now and then.
It's not that creepy out here at night, is it? The Gobstones Club are cowards. Here I am, charging ahead. Why don't you lead the way?
If you're sure. Lumos.
Lumos! A little foreboding.
A few cobwebs and some dust. Nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, of course. It's just not as tidy as I expected.
Confringo! Amit, could I ask you something?
Oh, certainly.
Why are you so fascinated with stars?
I suppose because there is so much to learn about them. I mean, there is plenty to learn about a lot of subjects, but astronomy seems limitless. Always something new being discovered. They are forever discovering new moons and stars. In fact, they discovered a new planet just 50 years ago.
Where precisely is the table we're looking for?
According to an old astronomer's chronicle I found in the library, it may be somewhere along the castle wall.
Actually, that's all I wanted to know.
Oh, very well then.
Lumos.
Lumos! More cobwebs. You don't think any spiders might be lurking about?
Oh no, not this close to school, Amit.
The constellation should appear near the center of your view. I was right about the tables. They really are gateways to the far stars, just as the book said. And your contribution was invaluable. Rest assured, you shall be credited in my memoirs one day.
Thank you, Amit. I look forward to reading them.
And I look forward to writing them. This is only the beginning. You will find more tables like this one throughout the grounds and forest, all beckoning to be discovered by a worthy astronomer. And if I have ever seen one, it's you. Oh, and about my old telescope, don't bother returning it. You should keep it.
That's quite generous. Thank you.
You are welcome. It has goblin-cut glass and a gobbledygook inscription. I'm practically fluent in gobbledygook, you know. It's all in the throat, really, gobbledygook, you know, and how you pronounce your R's. Anyway, glad our adventure was a success. I will see you soon. Never do get tired of seeing the astronomy tower at night. What a view.
Glad you...
Wish I had the courage. Forest.
Hello, Serona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something?
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity, what with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aidan was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Most gobblers in my family worked in the mines at one time or other.
Confringo!
Someone there? Stop avoiding me! I won't rest until dead.
Confringo! Expelliarmus! Accio!
I will
Confringo! Accio!
I don't think you know.
Expelliarmus!
I won't rest.
You've one less follower, Ranrock. These rocks have seen better days. Confringo! Accio! Confringo!
Your acrobatics will only postpone the inevitable.
Confringo! Ah, Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Who needs keys when you know?
Bardo Beaumont should have returned by now. Had by dark wizards he was.
Excuse me, did you say something about Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
I should investigate. Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! 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 Expelliarmus! Lumos! Accio! Confringo! Past the river near the forest. I must be on the right track. Confringo! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Accio! Confringo! Is that Inferior's with a jumper? That must be Bardolph. Confringo! Accio! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Confringo!
Expelliarmus! Accio!
To know what really happened to him. Entry from Bardolph's journal. He overheard whispers, a plan, something to do with him. Upper Hogsfield. Now where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
I do hope my brother is all right.
Madame Beaumont, I believe I have some news of your brother.
Bardolph? What do you know of my brother?
I'm afraid he's joined the Ashwinders and has no interest in returning.
What? No, this can't be. He was seeking their advice, that's all.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph! Bardolph, my dear, dear brother.
Nice to see you again, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather hawk clumps and collect the box of letters there.
Serona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Do you remember anything about the letters you put in the box?
Oh, of course. A few letters from some of her school friends. Some nice memories. I even included a letter Serona had written to me when she was staying with us. Thought she might enjoy reading it. I know when I read writing from my youth, I'm always astonished at how much I've changed, and yet remain the same.
Thank you, Mrs. Brottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those hawk clumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Knowing a meat, he's likely studied here.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Abandoned long ago, no doubt. Could it be a merge? Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Accio. Repulso. Confringo. That's that. Settled. Confringo!
You can't roll your way out of bed!
Expelliarmus!
Hey, that's mine! You may want to. I've seen Billywicks with more things.
It's shameful what you've done to helpless beasts. Confringo! Confringo!
anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
The dark arts do pique my interest.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this. Better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I'd like to know more about it if you wouldn't mind telling me. I won't repeat it.
Very well. But do keep this between us. Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus Curse?
Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus Curse. Also known as the Torture Curse. Inflicts excruciating pain on the victim.
Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
How horrible. Poor Ominous. He was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
Confringo! Hello, Adelaide. I received your owl.
Thank you for coming. You see, my Uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He'd planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide. Oh, Uncle Roland, what have you got yourself into? Professor Hackett.
I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
I thought Professor Black would get rid of all the money.
Revelio.
Merlins! Watch them fly!
Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark. Here's one of those tables Professor Shah mentioned. Confringo! Accio! Confringo!
Clever.
Expelliarmus!
No, too hard.
Depulso! Confringo!
No.
Could this be Mr. Oakes' campsite? Rocks loyalists, just ahead. Should I take them by force or be discreet? Confringo!
You can't stop us.
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
Easily guided.
Confringo!
Was that your best? I've been fighting since before you were born.
Arresto momentum. Confringo! Now to find out what happened here. Mr. Oakes' trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to him. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now to find the crooked tree. A crooked tree, just as the map said. The crumbling tower shouldn't be far from here.
Can't figure out why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough dumb beasts for everyone.
Most gobblers in my family worked in the mines at one time.
What do we have here?
Expelliarmus! Don't do that again, I beg you!
I may have more luck higher up in the keep. Goodness. Not a party to attend by myself.
Expelliarmus!
What's going on there?
Arresto momentum.
Your spells glance off of me.
Expelliarmus!
Now here's a sad-looking place.
Only following orders. Leave your accusations to someone else.
A ladder. That's what I need.
No, I heard something that time.
Arresto momentum. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Confringo! Expelliarmus!
Oh, you think you're so clever.
Arresto momentum.
But enjoy suffering, do you?
Expelliarmus!
This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me.
Such fall dead asleep on my feet.
What will we find in here? Expelliarmus! Accio!
Are you sure? Stop avoiding me!
Arresto momentum! Expelliarmus!
I will make you pay.
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. Your blood's on Ranrock's hands! Aloha Mora. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Arresto momentum! Expelliarmus!
A human's word is worthless.
Expelliarmus!
This prisoner owes us the metal we were promised.
Confringo!
I won't rest until...
Arresto momentum! Expelliarmus!
You won't get over.
Confringo!
I will make you.
Expelliarmus! Confringo!
Intend to die, do you?
Expelliarmus!
I shall avenge your death. You won't get away with that.
Protego! A boiler door. How to open it?
Locked away. You can count on that.
Expelliarmus!
Seems your heart isn't in this at all.
Arresto momentum. Accio. Expelliarmus! Confringo!
I won't rest. Dead.
Expelliarmus! Confringo!
One way or another, get what we're owed. Ranrock won't be stopped.
I won't rest until you're dead.
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
Don't have time for this.
Accio! Expelliarmus!
I will make one less human to worry about.
Accio!
Fight about where's the
Diagon!
You can't stop us.
Expelliarmus!
I won't rest. Dead.
Confringo! Accio! Expelliarmus! Arresto momentum! Confringo! Expelliarmus!
Your acrobatics postpone the inevitable.
Arresto momentum! Confringo! Expelliarmus!
I will make you pay.
Arresto momentum!
Ooh, it shouldn't take long.
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
I won't rest.
Expelliarmus!
I will make you pay.
Confringo!
I won't rest. Dead. Was that your best?
Confringo! This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free. I wonder if Adelaide's uncle could be down there. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Arresto momentum.
I feel spells glance off of me. I've been fighting since before you were born.
Ranrock has fooled you all, to your demise.
Certain we can come to an agreement and you'll just set me free!
Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
Fortunately, I've already found your wand, Mr. Oakes.
Please, pass me my wand. I can't get out of this damn cell without it. It's my last hope. Please. My wand. Oh, thank Merlin. Thank
you. You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. How did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long, they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblin stole every Knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you, her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
Mr. Oakes was lucky. Ranrock's lot would never have freed him.
Oh, this day's gone on too long.
Not your best moment, I fear.
Expelliarmus!
I will make you pay.
Confringo! Accio!
How nice of you to see.
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
It's not the best place to be caught alone. I know what that means.
I have come here, Crupmite.
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
Tricky little cape flapper.
Arresto Momentum!
It wasn't nothing.
Accio!
What have you done?
Confringo! Expelliarmus!
That's fine! Dare slay one of my own! You will fall!
Expelliarmus!
You may want some blue.
Accio! Protego! This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
It might have gone more to plan if you'd paid attention to instructions. Cleaning your ears out might be a good start. I swear they're full of pus now. Take that! Nice try!
Time to get up.
That's proper feeble, that is! You haven't got a prayer.
Expelliarmus! This place has seen better days. The cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned. But I still need to visit the cave to find Zerona's box of letters. Perhaps I'll find more hawk clumps. Better have a look around. See about the hawk clumps and the box of letters. That's all the hawk clumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. Confringo. Lumos. Confringo. Lumos. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or together. Arresto momentum. Confringo. Accio. Expelliarmus! Arresto momentum. Confringo! Expelliarmus! Accio! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Arresto momentum. Expelliarmus! Confringo! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Arresto momentum. Accio! Confringo! I think they felt that in London. Lumos. Lumos. This must be Sorona's box of letters. I should take this box of letters to Sorona. She'll be glad to have it back. I think that's everything. Sorona will be glad to have this back.
Nothing to poach in Arranshire except spiders. Manners are important, though, aren't they?
Confringo!
What do you think you're doing?
Expelliarmus!
No.
Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Accio! Descender! Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade?
Holyjuice potion wants to keep it away from days.
Get your daily profit!
He'll see it was a mistake parting ways with me. That young Otto digs the Hogshead in.
I wish I had the courage to go into the forest.
Christmas while all the other children have to be constantly.
Hello, Sorona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk clumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
One of the letters mentions Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Pardon me, but were you saying something?
Oh, hello. Talking to myself. I'm Clementine Willardsey. Charmed. I was musing on the precious butterflies I see near the edge of the forest. Whenever I come near, they fly off into it. When I was at Hogwarts, we truly were forbidden from entering the forest. told horrible stories about it, and I've had an irrationally intense fear of it ever since. It's silly, but I'm insatiably curious as to where the butterflies go in the forest. You couldn't possibly find out, could you?
You want me to follow the butterflies?
I do, yes, if you wouldn't mind.
What were the horrible stories you were told about the Forbidden Forest?
Oh, goodness, everything from students being mysteriously beheaded to terrifying spider dens. Ugh, trust me, you hear that at 11 years old, it sticks with you.
Very well. If I have time, I shall see where they lead.
Oh, how kind. Students these days have so much more courage than I ever did. You can usually find me right around here. I hope to see you soon. Don't forget, the butterflies always seem to be on the fringes of the Forbidden Forest. Good luck.
Too busy with fizzing whiskey to ask me.
Oh, the work it takes to keep it free.
Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! Accio! Descendo! Confringo! Accio! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Confringo! 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 Expelliarmus! Confringo! Accio! Descendo! There they are. She wasn't making it up. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willardsey might get an answer about these butterflies. Well, well. Look what we have here. These rocks have seen better days.
Oh, please tell me you have an answer for me about the butterflies.
Hello, Miss Willardsey.
Well, what happened? Did you find them?
They led me into the forest and revealed a treasure.
Oh, how lovely! I'm glad you were rewarded for your efforts. Perhaps one day I'll be able to bring myself to go into the forest. For now, I'm happy simply knowing there's something so lovely to see, should I dare.
Thank you again for delivering those pushes to Madame Wowie. Saved me a lot of time and trouble. A wise decision. Thank you. I hope to see you again. Farewell for now.
You ought to cut back on pudding.
Revelio.
Took you for a troll the other day.
Yes. Good for you. Expelliarmus. Too late for you to learn the error of your ways.
think there were duck's eggs as well. But surely those were curdle.
Have you finished your assignments?
I finished the tasks, Professor.
Well, well. I trust you are meticulous in your efforts. After all, shortcuts only ever lead to shortcomings.
Yes, sir, of course.
Good. Ordinarily, I'd say it's not my concern either way, but you... I want to make sure you're well prepared. Talent and resolve are a potent combination. It would be a shame to let that go to waste.
Thank you, Professor.
Don't let it go to your head. Now, let's see how you fare with Diffindo. Wand at the ready. Focus. Diffindo can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. Very good. It seems you have a grasp on Diffindo. I would once again to practice here in the classroom, for your sake and that of everyone else. Diffindo! It's a pleasure to have a student who actually heeds instruction.
Confringo!
As I mentioned earlier, Diffindo can be versatile but dangerous. Good to see you continuing to practice.
Professor Sharp, do you have a moment?
Depends on how you intend to use it.
I saw an aura badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an aura.
Observant. I suppose I could indulge you for a moment. Spent years tracking down reprobates who dealt in artifacts of dark magic origin.
That sounds positively exhilarating.
Exhilarating? It was at that. While it lasted, at any rate. I enjoyed a great deal of success as an aura. However, success can make one complacent if one's confidence is not tempered by humility. One overstep in battle changed everything.
May I ask what happened?
Yes, well, I suppose it's a matter of record. My partner and I had tracked a suspect to a harbor in Scarborough, trying to smuggle shrunken heads of all things. I had deduced that he was working alone. I was mistaken, and they knew we were coming. From the moment we stepped onto the ship, well, I barely escaped with my life. My partner wasn't so lucky.
I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry.
It is at that. But survival is not guaranteed for any of us. Pay attention. And not just within my class. This is what I must impress upon you all. A potion and a poison may be a mere breath apart, until you consume the wrong one.
Well said, Professor.
Diffindo!